of the first game of the next week of the NFL season. They haven't been the most necessarily entertaining football games. Just
Not
point to
by
last
any
week,
means.
Broncos Raiders was just a snooze fest. A potential snooze fest here. However, if you have rooting interests like myself, then you love it. New England Patriots will take on the New York Jets. It's another division matchup. So the NFL likes these division matchups. However, 4 days away from the game the previous day, you don't necessarily get the best football, but a lot of former SEC players will be on the field this year. These are two teams going obviously in opposite directions. The New York Jets, right before the trade deadline, they had a fire sale.
Well, I mean, you could make the argument that maybe the Jets have found something here the last 2 games. They started 0-7.
They started.
And then they rattled off 2 straight wins.
Yep.
So maybe, the Patriots didn't get off to the best start, and then they're looking for, I believe, their 8th straight?
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
goodness.
Yeah.
That guy's been at the center of it.
Yep. Drake May, the second-year quarterback out of North Carolina, obviously having a really strong season and putting himself right in the middle of the Heisman Trophy. Wow, the MVP for the NFL, more than 2,500 yards through the air, 19 touchdowns. He's taking care of the football every game outside of the Steelers game, and it's been a really interesting year here for this team with a new head coach, like you said, the second-year quarterback for this squad. What are some of the things that you are looking for as another week in the NFL kicks off? And you have, like you said, 2 teams that have found something overall. I know the Jets went through a fire sale, so they don't have a lot of their main players like they did 3 weeks ago. But what do you make here of this matchup?
Well, I think when I look at this matchup and what the Jets have been able to do over the last 2 games and during their 2-game winning streak is run the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's an immovable force, meaning an immovable object.
Right.
And the best thing the Patriots do is run defense. They're the top in the league at defending the run. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a telltale sign of how the game's probably going to go tonight. But as you mentioned, these division matchups on Thursday Night Football don't really go over well. We just saw that last week. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Broncos struggled with the Raiders and arguably giving us one of the worst football games to watch ever.
It was an awful game. Awful game. Like 10-7 was the final score.
And then almost got eclipsed by the one on Monday.
Yes, exactly. Right. That was awful. That was awful as well. And I get why the NFL likes to do these, likes to put these divisional matchups on there. Mm-hmm. But what ends up happening is that those teams are so familiar with one another that they know each other so well. So it's hard to get by with anything. And so you have a game where the total is really low. Mm-hmm. But also the point spread is really high, so they're expecting a blowout kind of game. New England's a favorite by close to 2 touchdowns. The over/under is less than 50. So I mean they're calling for kind of a blowout game here. I think I see it. The game is in New England. There's obviously a lot of hype because Rob Gronkowski came back and signed that one-day contract to finish off there as a New England Patriot. But I think that the juice will be there in the stadium. I just don't know if the game will bring the same juice.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I wish we could just ban I know there's a lot of people that want to ban the Thursday Night Football in general.
Correct, right.
Just ban division rivals just playing against each other. Like, honestly, I mean, you want the division rivalries to be good. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And when you're playing, let's just say, for example, in this situation, it's the Jets. You just played on Sunday.
Right.
And now you got to come back on Thursday and play a division team. Like, that's just not right.
Yeah,
I mean, do these, like, interleague games almost, like AFC versus NFC. Like that, just make it more interesting that way.
That would be, in my opinion,
because they don't mean anything.
More fun. Right. And you can actually just use those kind of as your reprieve, try to pick up a win there against another team probably outside the conference and get it that way. Lots of former SEC standouts here for both these squads. We got a chance to talk to one of them, and Joshua Dobbs, who joined us, former Tennessee quarterback there. Ramondre Stevenson, been banged up a little, former Oklahoma guy.
Just came out today. He is out.
Yeah, he is out for the game. So, and Trayvon Henderson did a good job out of Ohio State, the rookie from last year. Hunter Henry coming out of Arkansas. Ben Brown from Ole Miss. Marcus Bryant there from Missouri. Will Campbell, the first-round draft pick last year from LSU. Christian Barmore from Bama. Eric Gregory from Arkansas. And Clavon Chasen from LSU there as well. Anthony Jennings, former Alabama star. Carlton Davis won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Used to play for the Auburn Tigers. John Saunders from Ole Miss, and Brandon Schooler from Texas. In the same situation there for the Giants as well.
Yeah, I mean, good crew there. Will Campbell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, he is.
We'll talk about the Jets here in a minute, but maybe the Jets should take some notes on maybe build up the O-line for these quarterbacks. I mean, Drake May has had an unbelievable year. You could make the argument, all right, is it Drake May's development? Is it Mike Vrabel? Is it the offensive line finally doing something? I mean, you can't just throw these hopeful, good quarterbacks into systems where they're not going to get any blocking because – I mean, we're seeing it with Cam Ward right now.
Yep, that's exactly right. And when you see it with young quarterbacks, you really need two things to kind of go their way. You need a running game, but you also need the offensive line. Right. For the longest time, the New England Patriots during their dynasty had Dante Scarnecchia, who was the offensive line coach, probably one of the greatest O-line coaches in the history of professional, I would say, in the history of football altogether. That was the centerpiece. The O-line was a centerpiece to help protect Brady, and then now protecting Drake May. So I'm in 100% agreement with you.
Yeah, so let's move over to the Jets now. I mean, it's been a year to forget for Justin Fields.
Yeah, exactly.
He lost the starting job to Russell Wilson late in the towards the midway point of the year last year, and I honestly thought Justin Fields was doing well under Mike Tomlin, but when you make the splash to get Russell Wilson to come over. Trying to just find a spark there, it was tough for him in Denver. It didn't go the way he wanted to. Now went over to Pittsburgh, it didn't work out again, and now over in New York, and he got benched for Jameis Winston now, and now he's quarterback 3.
Right.
Same way for Justin Fields, but he's been able to find the run game a little bit here. The passing numbers, I think they're some of the worst in the league, but he's always been a dual threat quarterback, and you go back to his good days in Chicago, they weren't amazing, but he was always a great fantasy quarterback because his running numbers were so good. I think he had an 1,100-yard rushing year in 2022.
Right. And the big thing, I think, for him is being able to not play from behind, not only behind the chains physically, but also play from behind on the scoreboard as well. Right. He talked about being able to get out to those fast starts, especially against the elite teams in the league.
Starting fast and just creating more explosives on early. We always preach and start fast and, finish strong. Like I said, after the game on Sunday, I felt like we finished strong, but I think we got to do a better job with, starting fast. And, we never want field goals in the red zone. So, also, taking advantage of that and scoring touchdowns in the red zone.
Lots of former guys that were from the SEC also on this football team as well, and that includes him. He played for a little bit there at Georgia, but then also you see some of the other ones as well, Andrew Beck, John Mechie, Adonai Mitchell, Arian Smith, Mason Taylor, and then you have Armar Menbu, Michael Clemens, Jamian Sherwood, Jamarcus Weston, and Malachi Moore, former Alabama star there as well for the football team. So it should be maybe interesting game, depending on who you root for. Hopefully, for me, rooting for the Patriots.
And it is that time for Best Bets with G&P. I'll go ahead and start us off here. We're going to say him today.
Yes.
Jets cover plus 13. We talked about these rivalry matchups in division on Thursdays. They're low scoring.
Right.
I think 13 is an absurd number, even though it's the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, the Patriots just played a hard game against New England. I just don't see it happening. However, for the Patriots, I do see Travion Henderson scoring a touchdown. That's at minus 160. And then back to the Jets. Breece Hall under 55.5 rush yards because the Patriots defense is number 1 in the league.
I like it. I'm going under for the game overall. 43.5 is the number right now. I like the Patriots being able to score 25, 28 points, and then that be the cap for them. Also like Drake May over 235 yards in the game. So I think they moved the ball, but I think they set up for some field goals there. And then I like Justin Fields to throw at least 2 interceptions.
Oh, he's going back to it.
This game.
He's going back to it. Tried to do it with Geno last week. It didn't work, and now he's going back to it.
I got to go back to it.